Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another video. This is the second part to my Krusty event idea for the Simpsons Tapped Out. Now, I would advise you watch part 1. It doesn't exactly connect, it doesn't really connect fluently with this event idea, but I don't know, I'd advise watching part 1 before you watch part 2. Now, part 2 is a completely different story. It doesn't really come off the part 1 that much, but I don't know, I think the theme is there, so it's fine to call this the kind of Krusty event part 2 kind of thing. Call it that event anyway. So yeah, we may as well just get into it. So to start off the event, I probably should have put the start up there. But anyway, after you start the event, there will be a Gills deal with Krusty's Frilltacular Frill Ride with Madame Mimi. Now, this is, of course, a Krusty Land building. It appeared on the Krusty Land map, and also you can see it, like, if you look at the map in the episode, when they go to Krusty Land, you can see it. But obviously, it's kind of not actually something that properly appeared in the show, but it appears on the actual picture, and a lot of the Krusty Land rides that they've added obviously don't actually appear in the show. Some of them don't appear in the show at all, they just appear on the map. So, I don't know, I'm fine with them adding this in the game. And of course it'll come with Madame Mimi. It'll be 200 donuts, but I think it's worth it because you're getting another Krusty Land ride. There's a few of these that they just completely missed. And I kind of hope that they do add them, gradually through different events. And I think this event would be a perfect opportunity to add one. And I picked the Frilltacular one because it's the most prominent one on the map that hasn't been added yet, and it looks kind of cool. So, yeah, that will come with Madame Mimi as a playable character for 200 donuts, and it will be a Gills deal. And this will be available for the entire act, and obviously Madame Mimi can obviously earn all the act currency. So, the startup happens. So, Brockman interviews Krusty and asks him if he thinks he has inspired children. Krusty says yes, but Brockman argues that he is not as inspiring for little girls, and in fact, Krusty has treated women horribly. So, make Krusty argue he's not sexist, make Krusty argue his point, and make Brockman grill Krusty. And Krusty tells his viewers that he's always treated women fairly, but Tina Ballerina disagrees, saying he treats corporal punishment much better than her. Make Krusty look for female fans, make Brockman run a new story, and this will unlock the event, and also you will unlock Sophie Krusty, of course, Krusty's daughter. Now, she's a character who I want to play a part of the entire event, so I kind of think it's relevant for her to be added as a free character. I also miss the days when they did this, because they used to do this quite a bit. Obviously, sometimes they did it with new characters, but they did it with old characters too, and I like the idea of them adding a premium character for free. She doesn't even come with a building, so it'd be perfectly fine just for her to be added in the game, I think. So, the event currency, I just want to get this out of the way before we get into the event. So the event currency is Act 1 will be Princess Penelope merch, Act 2 will be IRS taxes, Act 3 will be the graduation hat, and Act 4 will be Torah scrolls, just to give you a little kind of preview. So in the store, this will be, of course, Act 1. In the store will be Aaron's apartment block with Aaron. So yeah, just a kind of simple apartment block really, but Aaron is, of course, Sophie's mother. She appears in a few episodes, well, I think only 1 or 2 actually, but I don't know, she's a prominent enough character, so I think it's fine for her to be added. Also, obviously, the apartment block is a perfect building for her to come with. It's not particularly an amazing looking building, but hey-ho. It makes sense for her to be added with it, and yeah, you get Aaron. So yeah, the quest line: Krusty brings Sophie to Brockman, telling him that she is inspired by him every day. Sophie defends her father and calls Brockman a slanderous old prune, but Brittany Brockman gets defensive of her father. So he makes Sophie argue with Brittany, make Krusty argue with Brockman, and make Springfielders earn Princess Penelope merch, which will unlock the Krusty Charity Classic, which is right here. So this is just a kind of a little stadium. Yeah, nothing too much. This will be a building, of course. So Krusty vows to allow a whole show performed by his female sideshows, only with the profits going to charity. Brockman calls him a panderer, but Krusty prevails, including Princess Penelope and obviously Tina Ballerina, a few of us, kind of his kind of sideshows or his guest stars, if you will. So you make Krusty set up event, make Sophie help her father, make Springfielders earn Princess Penelope merch, and this will unlock the Krusty dumpster, which you can see here. So literally just a dumpster that we already have in the game, but with Krusty stuff inside of it. Maybe this little box to the side of it as well. But they could just redesign the other dumpster, because there's going to be a unique thing to it, so I would be fine with them doing that. Princess Penelope steals the show, and Krusty is mad that it happened again, but Brockman mocks Krusty, asking if he'll denounce her just because she's stealing his light, and so you make Krusty grit his teeth, make Brockman laugh, and make Springfield his own Princess Penelope merch, and this will unlock the Krusty Lou Studios store. So this is, of course, inside the Krusty Lou Studios, but for me, anyway, it makes sense that they just were to add it. I mean, I know it's technically inside Krusty Lou Studios, but I don't know, I think it would be a cool little building to have. Anyway, moving on. Penelope politely asks Krusty if he wants to take over the show now, as she's kind of moved on with her Princess Penelope role. But Krusty tells her that she must keep performing, otherwise people will think he hates women. She says she doesn't want to, but Krusty demands it. Being quite mean to her. So you make Krusty realise irony, make Springfielders shop at Krusty Lou's store, and this will unlock the Princess Penelope stage, which you can see right here. It is an interior, and I know I kind of hate interiors sometimes, and I'm being a little bit of a hypocrite here, but I don't know. I think it's fine. I can't. Also, I forgot to put, but I kind of want this to include an animation for Krusty and Penelope. Literally, this kind of scene that you see in the episode. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool if that kind of plays out. I'd be fine with. I don't know. I'm fine with it. It's one kind of meh decoration or crappy decoration, but it kind of just fit into this. It kind of fit into this act. So whatever. Penelope reveals what a horrible man Krusty is. Aaron and Holly Hippie back her up, saying that he is a douchebag to all of his wives and girlfriends. Brockman announces Krusty as a hopeless misogynist, so make Krusty accept defeat, make Brockman run the story, make Springfielders shop at Krusty Lou's stores, and this will unlock Holly Hippie, who you can see right here. So this is one of Krusty's ex-wives. She only has a brief appearance, but I don't know, they've definitely added loads of characters with brief appearances, so they can always build on her character. So then Act 2 comes along. I haven't actually come up with names for the acts, but whatever. Act 2 comes along, so you're going to get Krusty's hot tub with Miss No Means No for 150 donuts. She wasn't actually seen at this building, but I think this is perfect, because obviously just this, Krusty taking a picture of this woman, and then you have this kind of ultra kind of, I guess, feminist sideshow that Krusty had. It's kind of funny little gag with her. So yeah, and also in the store is going to be the Sea Captain's Bait and Bargain Bin, Bergen Bin, for 60 donuts as a building. This will make sense in a minute. Anyway, so Diane tells Krusty that after the recent sexism claims, mothers are not letting their kids watch Krusty anymore, and Ron tells Krusty that due to this he owes a lot of money to the IRS. Krusty asks what he can do, and Diane suggests Miss No Means No must host the show instead. Make Krusty check IRS debt, make Springfielders earn IRS taxes, and this will unlock the IRS Plaza, which you can see right here. So a really cool building. I know we've got an IRS building already in the game, but this is a bit different. This is a big tower with this kind of little court at the front, so I think it definitely could be cool. Ron tells Krusty that the IRS is taking Krusty Burger from him as he can no longer pay for it, so make Krusty make a new plan, make Springfielders earn IRS taxes, and this will unlock IRS Burger. So this will be a skin for Krusty Burger. Obviously you can have multiple Krusty Burgers in the game, so I think it makes sense for it being a skin and not a building. Obviously you could just get 2 Krusty Burgers and then put one as the IRS and one as the normal. So yeah, I think it works out. And then Krusty secretly tells Ron that he is faking his own death again. So you make Krusty fake his death, make Springfielders earn IRS taxes, and this will unlock Krusty's grave, as you can see here. Obviously this was in the episode Bart the Fink. And then Bart decides to investigate Krusty's death and finds him as Rory again. Rory denies being Krusty, but Lisa reminds him that he's used this disguise before, and it's not too convincing. So you make Krusty run away, make Bart chase Krusty, make Lisa chase Krusty, and make Springfielders earn IRS taxes. And this will unlock Rory Bellow's boat, which is here. So obviously this is Rory's boat, which is the pseudonym that Krusty takes. So you'll get that there. And then Krusty asks, Krusty as Rory asks Bart and Lisa to keep his fake death a secret, and let someone else take over his show. Bart asks who, and Krusty replies, Handsome Pete, as he is far more inoffensive as Krusty. So you make Bart accept, make Lisa accept, and you make Krusty hide away forever. And this will unlock both Rory and Handsome Pete. So if you don't have Handsome Pete already, he will be unlocked for you. And if you do have Handsome Pete, he will unlock tasks. I don't know, he's a character I think should have had tasks, although he makes a very minor appearance. I think he's notable enough than the kind of the Fire Eater and all that, those guys. He's more notable than those people, so I think it kind of makes sense for him to have tasks over them. Also, obviously, Rory v. Bellas will be a costume for Krusty, and I didn't really want it there just to be a costume as the final prize, so I thought I'd switch it up and add something else for you guys. Also, the reason why this is added is obviously because this is the building where Handsome Pete is seen, so that's why I've added that building in there in the store. Also, I kind of miss the fact that they used to obviously add like a premium kind of character building combo in the store, and then occasionally per act or per kind of per act, because we used to have obviously 3 acts per act, they would also add like something else in the store that was premium, and they don't do that anymore, and I kind of miss it. So I don't know, I kind of threw that in there as well. I kind of wish they would do that more often. Anyway, moving on, we have Act 3. So in the store will be Irish Krusty with the Springfield Amphitheatre for 150 donuts. Really funny little character. I really love the Irish Krusty thing. The Amphitheatre is where they film the Springfield squares. Obviously, it's a bit of a random kind of combo, but I don't know. You could kind of make it make sense. And then you get Grass Skirt Sideshow Bob for 50 donuts in the store as well. I literally only wedged this in because Spring King mentioned it in the comments about this, and I kind of do agree. It doesn't really fit in this Krusty event, to be honest. So, but this is definitely a costume I would want in the game eventually. So yeah. So Handsome Pete performs his show, but Bill is by the way, is this guy, Krusty's tax dude. Bill tells Pete that he just isn't cutting it, as he is a one-trick pony. He breaks it to Pete that they are just going to have to find a new clown to run the show, make Pete do a final show, make Brockman report on Pete's departure, make Springfielders earn graduation hats, and this will unlock the Krusty the Clown College billboard, which is right here. So Bill announces that the Clown College is up and running again, and Homer is interested in becoming the new Krusty, as he has previous experience. Make Homer practice clowning, make Springfielders earn graduation hats, and this will unlock the Loop-de-Loop, which you can see right here. So this will include 2 animations, one for Homer and one with Homer and Krusty, but you won't unlock them until after kind of the quest line with Clown Krusty. Oops. Don't want to be further there. Anyway, Bill tells Homer that the kids love him and he's doing great, but he can't. Oh wait, sorry. Bill is impressed with Homer's performance and agrees that he and Irish Krusty will fill in the place of Krusty and Pete. Meanwhile, Pete reveals to the sea captain that Krusty must come back. Make Homer perform a show, make Pete look for Krusty, make Springfielders earn graduation hats, and this will unlock Bill, who is Krusty's accountant. He's only in the this episode, the Homer the Clown episode. But originally, I actually came up with this whole event idea for Homer the Clown, but what ended up happening is I just never bothered doing the video. And then obviously they did the Krusty's Last Gasp, where they obviously added the Krusty the Clown College, and I was like, oh well, there's no point doing the event. But I think there is still a fair amount of content to do the event, although it's kind of annoying that the Clown College has already been added. There's still a really funny costume for Homer. There's still the 2 animations, the Loop-de-Loop, which I think will be funny as hell. You got Bill, although he's not a massive character. They can put him in there as well. So yeah. Anyway, Bill tells Homer that the kids love him and he's doing great, but he can't take off the makeup at home as the kids can't see what a fat balding mess is behind the makeup. Make Bill change Homer's lifestyle, make Homer put on makeup, make Pete talk to Krusty, and make Springfielders earn graduation hats, and this will unlock the Simpsons or Krusty Simpsons car. So this could either be a skin for Homer's car, which is already in the game, or this could be a separate thing overall. Honestly, I'm not that bothered, although it makes more sense for it to be a skin. I don't know. I wouldn't be that bothered if it was just a separate decoration. Bill and Ron both agree that Homer is the perfect replacement, and they want to reband all the merch with his face. Krusty is devastated and decides that this cannot happen to his image. Make Homer help make merch, make Bill sort out merch deal, make Krusty reveal he's alive, and make Springfielders earn graduation hats, unlocks Homer, and then this of course will unlock Homer the Clown. But Bill tells Krusty that everyone knew that he faked his death, but it doesn't matter as he is being replaced. Anyway, moving on. So in the store, as you probably saw before, is a Rabbi Rudenstein with the Temple Beth Western for 150 donuts. So pretty cool synagogue, and obviously this guy is a big kind of Krusty fan. He's also Rabbi Krusty like good friend. So yeah. Moving on, Krusty is sad that he has lost all of his fame, his job, his family is gone, and Sophie is like, I'm here, but Krusty tells her he'll get to her eventually. Sophie suggests that to her father that maybe he still isn't over the death of her grandpa, and obviously his father, and Krusty thinks this could be true. So you make Krusty re-grieve, that should be is that re-grieve? Yeah. Make Sophie remember her grandpa, make Springfielders earn Torah scrolls, and this will unlock Tears of a Clown, which is right here, which is kind of a grieving center. Krusty reveals that it's not just the death of his father, but his mother too. Krusty claims that his childhood was just a big mess, and to begin with, and the only thing he could do is make people laugh. So you make Krusty mourn the death of his mother, make Sophie confront Krusty, make Springfielders earn Torah scrolls, and this will unlock Rachel Krusty grave, which you can see right here. As a decoration, of course. Sophie laughs at the tales of her grandparents telling Krusty that they sounded like great people. Krusty agrees, but tells her that he still hasn't got the courage to be a clown. He instead decides to be a rabbi. Make Krusty train to be a rabbi, make Sophie talk her father out of it, and make Springfielders earn Torah scrolls, and this will unlock Ois Are Us. Oh, I put an E there by mistake, but yeah. Ois Are Us, which is it was a building seen in kind of heaven, but they could just add it as a normal. It was seen in Jewish heaven. It's a building in Jewish heaven, but they can just add it as a normal building in the town. It'd be fine. Anyway, Krusty's father tells Krusty that he has done his best and he doesn't have to be something that he's not. Krusty agrees and declares that he is a clown and always will be a clown, but the rabbi tells Krusty that maybe he could do something good now and again. So make Krusty do a good deed, make Krusty be a clown again, and make Springfielders earn Torah scrolls, and this will unlock Krusty's Ark animal shelter, which you can see right here. Moving on, Krusty tells Homer to step aside as he is coming back. He tells the kids that he is back and he is going to try and improve as a person. He tells everyone that the family that he has, the family that he has lost and the family he still has will be all he needs to continue. And this includes obviously Sophie, Mel, and Josh. Make Krusty perform a show, make Sophie cheer on her father, make Homer the clown wipe off clown makeup, and make Springfielders earn Torah scrolls. This will of course unlock Josh, who is of course Krusty's nephew. He only really appears in one scene of the show, but this whole act is kind of tying into his family and his grief, so I thought it makes sense to add a family member. I was looking through Krusty's family members and there really wasn't that many, so I thought, whatever, we'll add Josh. I know it's not a great character, but oh well. I think it'll be fun. Anyway, the epilogue is obviously Homer is mad and tells Krusty that he was really enjoying his time as a clown, so Krusty asks Josh to do the honors, so you make Josh kick Homer, and then Ken Brotman tells Krusty that he still has issues with sexism, and Krusty tells him that he will improve his views and tells Kent that maybe he should improve on being a liar, or not being a liar. So you make Kent back down, make Krusty perform another show, and this concludes the event. So moving on to some tasks. For Handsome Pete, we have perform for 60 minutes. This will be an animation. This will be the same as what happens when you click him, but it will just instead be an animation. Get mistaken for Krusty for 4 hours. Pretend to be Krusty for 8 hours. Beg for more change for 12 hours. This will be another animation, a unique new animation for him. And then run the bait store for 24 hours. Of course, that will be in the bait store. Then you have Sideshow Bob's Grass Skirt, present choices for 60 minutes, animation. This is kind of a tie-in with this, the thing in the last event, but I don't know. I think this could actually be the thing where he goes into this. Heal injuries for 4 hours, do a dance for 6 hours. This will be him doing a really lackluster, kind of depressing little dance. Perform a new show for 8 hours, get tortured by Krusty for 12 hours. This could be like an assortment of Krusty throwing things at him, like pies or whatever. And then plot revenge for 24 hours. And then for Madame Mimi, take a bow for 60 minutes, animation. Train Poodle's new tricks for 4 hours. This can be at the Krusty Studios or whatever really. Walk Poodles for 6 hours. We hear walking a Poodles along on a lead. Help out with the Krusty the Clown show for 8 hours. Perform show for 12 hours. This will be this thing here. And prepare for new act for 24 hours. That will be at Krusty Studios as well. Then we have Aaron drag Sophie for 60 minutes. Animation, this will be her dragging Sophie along. Clean medals for 4 hours, this will be in her apartment. Spend time with Sophie for 6 hours, that will be her and Sophie inside the apartment block. Argue with Krusty for 8 hours, this could be at the anywhere really. Leave hate mail for 12 hours, again, apartment block. And serve country for 24 hours, this will be an animation. This will be her in her military uniform, which you see in the episode, so it'll just be her in a military uniform, maybe, I don't know, drinking a beer, or she could have a gun in her hand, or whatever, it doesn't really matter. You have Holly Hippie, tell people to peace for 60 minutes, literally that, just her peacing out. Trash the Krusty Lee Studio store for 4 hours, obviously there. Burn photos of Krusty for 8 hours, could be wherever. Groovy over a divorce for 12 hours, her doing a little dance. Keep tabs on Krusty's relationships for 24 hours. And then you have Mrs. No Means No, slap Krusty for 60 minutes, it'll be animation, her slapping Krusty. Paint protest signs for 4 hours. Film a disclaimer for 6 hours, Krusty Lee Studios as well. Raid a show for 8 hours, obviously. Krusty Lee Studios. Stop sexism for 12 hours, it'll be her holding up her sign, no, kind of maybe wiggling it about. And then rally Krusty's cancellation for 24 hours. Then you have Rory B. Bellows, which is of course a costume for Krusty. Swim for 60 minutes animation. This could be at a lake or maybe in the actual sea. Maybe a lake makes more sense, but yeah, literally it'll be him swimming, and then the kind of paint off his the yellow face kind of starts to fade and go back to the white. Put on face paint for 4 hours. That could be on the boat. Catch fish for 6 hours, that'll be on the boat as well, I guess. Fill in for Pete for 8 hours, this could be at the bait shop. Work on the boat for 12 hours, animation, that'll be him on the boat, kind of, you know, working. And then hide from fans for 24 hours, this could be the Brown House or wherever. You have Irish Krusty drink a monologue for 60 minutes, it'll be him sitting on a chair, doing exactly that. Buy crates of whiskey for 4 hours, it'll be the Brown House. Discuss fees with agent for 6 hours. Again, probably Brown House or Krusty Lee Studios or wherever. Prepare another monologue for 8 hours. This could be wherever. Tell a dark tale for 12 hours. This will be a similar animation, but I guess he could be like more bowing his head and stuff instead of drinking. And take over Krusty Lee Studios for 24 hours, obviously at the Krusty Lee Studios. Then you have the Homer Clown. Squirt his flower for 60 minutes. Him like squirting his little flower thing. Fail the loop for 4 hours. It'll be him going around the loop and falling. Go to Clown College for 6 hours, obviously at Clown College. Promote Krusty Burger for 8 hours, obviously at Krusty Burger. Perform a new show for 12 hours, obviously at Krusty Lee Studios. And do the loop with Krusty. So this will be animation, him and Krusty going around the loop and actually succeeding. Then you have Bill. Check Krusty's debts for 60 minutes, animation, him with a big kind of page, a big scroll of debts. Give money to the Mafia for 4 hours. That could be the legitimate business social club thing. Help run the college for 8 hours, that will be at the college. Try sell Krusty merch for 12 hours, and that will be an animation of him with a bunch of Krusty items, you know, trying to sell them. And then give up for 24 hours, that will be at the, I don't know, Krusty Lee Studios. And then you have the Rabbi, tell jokes for 60 minutes, animation, obviously doing that. Give a sermon for 4 hours at the Temple of Western, the whatever it's called. I don't know if sermon is the right word, but you know what I mean. Watch the Krusty the Clown show reruns for 6 hours. That could be at the synagogue as well. Spend time with Rabbi Krusty Scoffy for 8 hours. That will be at the other synagogue. Read scripture for 12 hours. Animation, that will be him kind of reading the Torah. Research Krusty's jokes for 24 hours. And then you have Josh, kick Homer in the belly for 60 minutes. Animation, doing exactly that. Look at pictures for 4 hours. That'll be him looking at the actual pictures of him, because Krusty takes a picture of him kicking him in the belly. Help at Krusty's Ark for 6 hours, obviously at the Ark. Practice kicks for 12 hours. And help organise a show for 24 hours, obviously at the Krusty Lee Studios. So that concludes all the tasks and all the things. So yeah, that is it for the entire Krusty event. And obviously, this was obviously the part 1 where we did. And then we have part 2 here. Yeah, I think that Krusty is a perfect character to make a really solid event. And I really wish that they do more event themes in terms of characters. I think it's actually a much stronger theme than some stuff they've done in the past. Although I like things like, you know, I like the concept of Game of Games, for example. I just think it was executed very horribly in both instances, in both part 1 and part 2. Whereas Krusty, if or like, you know, any other character they do, they definitely could to make a really solid event based on that character, and I think it's actually a very strong theme for an event. And as such, I have very many events coming in the future. They won't be anytime soon, but I have events in the future. There's one on Mo. It's not got a part 1 and part 2, but there is one on Mo I'm working on at the minute. I just need to do the quest line and the kind of tasks for the new characters. But there's one on Mo that I'm working on, and I think Mo is a perfect character to do one of these on. I'm even trying to do one on Apu. I think Apu is a much harder one to do it on, but I'm going to try and do one for Apu, but it might be a fairly weak event idea, but I'll try my best with it. But yeah, honestly, and also I've got a Flanders family reunion kind of extended event coming out as well, like a major event for Flanders family reunion. I've got loads of ideas in the works that are based on characters instead of based on a kind of overarching theme, and I just think that this is a really good idea for them to do. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.